Recent studies have shown that Nottingham has one of the highest crime rates in the UK. Growing up here, I want to explore what type of crimes happen and to understand why people commit them. I'll be interviewing Paddy first, a reformed criminal who has managed to escape his past and lead a normal lifestyle.
I didn't like it in there. Anybody that likes jail must be mad. Locked up 23 hours a day if you're not working. The people, they're worse than the people you sell to. Dangerous game where I was in. Very dangerous. And in the end I'm glad I got caught, to tell you the truth, because you never know what happened. You know what I mean? People were dangerous where I'm not about with. Very, very dangerous. I don't think twice about shooting, you know what I mean? It's terrible. The only people who get the bad sentences are people who deal drugs. I mean, there's people in jail now for cocaine, heroin and things like that, doing 23, 25 years. You don't get that if you kill somebody. When I was in prison, it was still there. You could get it if you wanted it. And all them that wanted it couldn't afford it anyway. And getting themselves into trouble over it. First time I'd been in prison in my life. I got 6 years. I didn't realise it was that long. That's why it might have put me off it a long time before that. I went in there knowing that I wasn't going to go backwards. Because I've done that. And I didn't want to go back into down that avenue again ever. Because it got too dangerous then. Very, very dangerous. Well, I was a hard-working plasterer, little family. I got ill, proper major operations, things like that. He put me off work and needed money. My mate was a cannabis dealer and he set me up, you know what I mean? He got me a few bob extra. Well, I've moved from that into Class A's, you know what I mean? And we got charged with intent to supply crack cocaine and E's.
How were you caught?
Surveillance. I've done it for a long time, Ben, and it was only a matter of time. It only lasted so long. I should have gathered that. And I got followed and nearly caught, and in the end caught. I was a bit older than most people in there, but I didn't have an hard time in there because everywhere I seemed to go in prison, different prisons, I seemed to know people. And me being older, they was younger, and they was from around Nottingham where I lived. They used to look on me, you know what I mean? Make sure I was all right and everything. So I never got no troubles, no dangers, nothing like that. There was a bad, but not to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm proper looked after. Don't get me wrong, I can't never say I didn't enjoy what I was doing. It was like a bit hyper. It was a bit hyper. It was scary, but like you got a buzz off it, I suppose. And that. But it got really bad in the end. Because the people, what you were selling to, they got no scruples. Well, you got them on yourself for doing it. And they'd rob you. They'd do anything to get a bit of gear.
After the interview with Paddy, we decided to try and get an alternative perspective on crime in Nottingham. So we arranged a meeting with Bob, an ex-police officer who has patrolled the streets of Nottingham for more than 20 years and has seen firsthand what crime has done to this city. How long were you in the police force for?
26 years and 6 months.
And was all that served in Nottingham?
Yeah, all in the city.
And how did you find the job?
Well, in the first place, I joined in 1958, and that was a different era completely to what it is now. If you went out, say on mornings, which was 6 o'clock in the morning, you'd see all sorts of people in the street at that time, and everybody would wish you a good morning. People had respect for the police in those days, which is sadly missing now. Crime itself hasn't changed much at all. The amount of crime has. Looking back to the 50s, we didn't have an awful lot of crime in Nottingham. Nobody carried a knife or a gun. I mean, if you were caught with a knife or a gun, you'd go down for an awful long time. I only ever came across one bloke who ever pulled a knife on me, and I took it off him and dropped it down the grate, and he pulled another one. So I hit him with my truncheon. So I bet he never pulled another knife on a policeman. Apart from that, he went to court and got sent down. I think, if I remember rightly, he got 6 months. But I mean, I wonder if he'd get that now. I don't think so. There aren't enough room. There's not enough room in the prisons for a start. No. I mean, the prisons got the same problem as the police. They haven't got enough prison officers.
So, do you think drug culture in Nottingham is a big reason as to why the crime is so high?
I think it's got a lot to do with it. I think people addicted to drugs probably feel that the only way they're going to get the money to buy drugs is through crime. And I think that's the cause of a lot of the petty crime, shoplifting and that sort of thing. I think most of that goes to buy drugs. The most enjoyable part of the job, as far as I was concerned, was 7 years that I worked at St Anne's, which is a pretty rough area. But I was one of the first resident beat officers. The idea was that you lived very close to the beat that you worked.
Yeah.
And you only worked that one beat, you didn't get shifted about at all. So for 7 years I worked one beat. And you got the opportunity of getting to know the public and of the public getting to know you.
Yeah.
And it was a good idea. I mean, they don't do it now because they haven't got the manpower. I think probably one of the proudest moments of my service was being at St Anne's police station one night and an old lady come into the police station. I'd never met her before and she'd never met me, but she asked for me by name. And I think that says something for the resident beat system. First, you've got to have enough policemen to do the job. I mean, that's badly lacking at the moment. And secondly, you've got to get it through to the judiciary that they've got to punish crime. And I think the government might be persuaded to build a few more prisons because nobody's bothered with a small fine.
If you hadn't have got caught then, where do you think you'd be at now?
Dead. I'd have been dead. Somebody would have killed me, but you know, to rob me, stab me, something like that. It definitely would have happened. Because that's how there was. I won't think twice about stabbing you.